Hello and welcome to TFA Analysis. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.
Social media is hot. The Anglophone crisis is taking another level. Ayaba Cho versus barrister Agbor Balla on social media. They are fighting just with their words on Twitter. Agbor Balla was amongst those who went to Switzerland to talk about the Anglophone crisis. And with this, Ayaba Cho, who is the president of a branch of Amazonia, wrote on his Twitter page, insulting this group of people who went. He said, "We are aware that a group of impostors from churches, including chiefs, colonial apologists, and enabler Agbor Balla are meeting in Switzerland. They do not speak for our people, and we want the Swiss to desist from enabling acts that foster and encourages occupation and its consequences." He insulted this group of people that are coming, they are not the right people to represent the Southern Cameroon. He calls particularly barrister Agbor Balla, who was first the president of Consortium, a group of Anglophones when this crisis started, before the name Amazonia came into place, and they were out for federation, and the government banned this group and dissolved it in 2017. Agbor Balla was arrested and imprisoned, and he was later released from prison. And then Agbor Balla on his own Twitter page did not remain silent. He offered a word against Ayaba Cho. He said, "You don't have any moral authority to call others names. You incite violence against your own people, encourage and support their killing. A leader with blood in his hands. You hijack a legitimate struggle for your nefarious activities, that is criminal activities and wicked activities." So there is something going on in between these two guys. There are all Southern Cameroonians. They are all fighting for the freedom of Southern Cameroon with two different views. Agbor Balla is for federation, while Ayaba Cho is for separation. And what is coming up now is the issue of leadership. Who is to represent the people of Southern Cameroon? I don't believe barrister Agbor Balla went to Switzerland on his own. I believe he was invited there. I don't believe he offered himself and said, "I'm the one to go." Because on social media, where we are getting everything, or on TV station in Cameroon, or on all platforms, we have not heard where they were asking for who to represent Southern Cameroon. So maybe those who organized that meeting there decided to invite barrister Agbor Balla. Maybe because of his attitude, or because of some issue that he has been doing, or because he stood for his people. He went to prison on behalf of his people. He was released and he never escaped from his country. Maybe those things contributed to this. And then Ayaba Cho was angry, maybe because he was not invited, or maybe those who were invited, they have nothing to do with Amazonia. What I keep on saying is that it is difficult for any international community or anybody or any country to invite any leaders of Amazonia, because of the infighting that is going on social media amongst you guys. Okay, if it was you invited, Sako could have been angry. But you add Ambazonia. Sako is an Ambazonia. The other president, whether it's Iya Marietta, could have been angry. And other people with their own small group, they could have been angry. Seseko Ayu in prison could have been angry. So what is going on is just for you guys to unite. If Ambazonia, the leadership of Ambazonia was solid, was organized, united, they could have, by now, many countries could have invited them. Even the United Nations could have invited them already. But all these people are confused of who to invite. Because of the infighting, the separation is too much. You people have exposed yourself to the world in a very negative way. And nobody, even me, if I have the opportunity to talk and call for a talk, I cannot call you people because who am I going to call? And if they said to you, I know that if 3, 4 of you are being called to talk about the Anglophone, or 5 of you, Seseko Ayo will be talking about different things, demanding different things. Isako will be demanding different things. Iya Marietta will be demanding different things. Ayaba Cho will be demanding different things. Barrister Agbor Balla, who stood for federation, will be demanding different things. And that is the confusion that the Southern Cameroonians have put themselves, involved themselves, entangled in it. And people are suffering. People are dying every day. If we Southern Cameroonians do not unite ourselves together and think of what we want, what really do we want, and go in amongst ourselves and decide and even go for vote to see what we decide, what the population wants, then go and fight as one people, we can never succeed. Because as you are fighting for separation, other group of Southern Cameroonians are fighting for a federation. And other group of Cameroonians are fighting for one and indivisible Cameroon. Other group of Southern Cameroonians are fighting for decentralization. But if all these people, Southern Cameroonians, comes together, and as late Cardinal Toumé was talking about, all Anglophone General Conference, to sit there and say what we want as Southern Cameroon, we cannot go anywhere. In 2018, I was on Equinox TV and I talked about a neutral body that can help organize the people of Southern Cameroon and Cameroon. That is the only way out of this issue, so that all this insult, argument, infighting will stop. Because if all these things won't stop, there is no way we are going. The only thing we'll be doing is increasing the suffering of our own people. Now, this is a Southern Cameroonians. I believe if we all were united, and if one person is picked by any country, by United Nations Organization, United States of America, other powerful nations, and say, come and talk on behalf of Southern Cameroon, maybe he could have contacted everybody and say, what am I going to say? What should I say on behalf of Southern Cameroonians? But because of the disunity, everybody is doing what he or she wish to, pleasing him or her. And that is the trouble we are in. And my tears is for the people, the common people who are living in bushes, the common people who are living in Nigeria as refugees. My tear is for the common people who are suffering in neighboring city, like Babus and Douala, Yaoundé, in a Francophone city, begging for food, begging for shelter. That is where my tears is. And many of us are out there enjoying our lives. Many of us are living in security, living in abundance. But our own people are suffering every day because of infighting. If all Southern Cameroonians can stand and speak in one voice, it will work. Everybody wants to lead, and not everybody is a leader.